All right, so again, my name is Emily. I am here on behalf of IES Abroad, and thanks to the Study Abroad office at the University of Louisville for inviting me to talk with you all today. I work as the Regional College Relations Manager for our Kentucky partners. So what that means is that any student who goes to one of our university partners in Kentucky would be working with me to kind of explore the program options at IES Abroad, and I would help kind of liaise with you and with the Study Abroad office to make sure that we're finding a program that's a good fit for you and that we're all aware of any requirements and policies from the University of Louisville. And I work out of Chicago, which is where IES Abroad is based. Of course, now I'm working from home, but we do have an office in Chicago. Of course, we have locations all around the world as well. So if you haven't heard of IES Abroad, or maybe you're not sure, you've heard of some other study abroad organizations that all involve some sort of letters of the alphabet. IES Abroad initially started as the Institute for European Studies. And since then, we've expanded and we have programs on other continents as well. So now we use it to loosely stand for the Institute for the International Education of Students. And we date back all the way to 1950 with our first program location that opened in Vienna. We have a partnership with universities all over the US that we call our academic consortium, and University of Louisville is a part of that consortium, which means that we're able to offer special scholarships and financial aid to Louisville students. And one that I definitely want to mention today, for those of you who might be interested in a semester length program with us, you actually qualify for our public university grant because your university is a partner with us. And that's an automatic $2,000 off of a semester program with us. So again, that's for any semester. You don't have to apply specifically to that scholarship. It will be automatically applied to your financial aid package, and then you're able to apply for additional scholarships and financial aid on top of that. So it doesn't apply to summer programs, but it does apply to semester programs. So definitely keep that in mind and factor that in. I know you'll be comparing other programs and creating a budget, and I can send more information to you about that if it's something that you're interested in learning more about. And then I've also indicated here we have what we kind of think of as a student first approach. And what I mean by that is we're here to help you every step of the way. And we have IES Abroad staff to kind of take you through this experience. We don't expect you to know how to navigate this process alone. So it starts with working with me and with your study abroad office to kind of find the program that's the right fit. So you can always call or email me or get in touch with your study abroad office for questions and kind of talk about your specific needs and situation, timeline for when you want to go abroad. And then if you were to actually apply to one of our programs, you'd start working with a program advisor who is kind of specialized in the location where you're planning to go and will help you with all of the pre-departure steps to making sure that you're ready to go to your location. Once you actually arrived, you'd be working with our center staff, so our on-site location staff who are locals and are used to living and working in the city where you'll be studying. They're able to help you with everything from getting around on public transportation, helping make sure you feel safe and comfortable in your housing, answering any academic questions you have, addressing any health or safety needs like going to a pharmacy or making an appointment with the doctor while you're there. So that's just a little bit about IES Abroad. The other thing I want to add is that we're really well known for our diversity and inclusion initiatives and resources. So particularly, we have country-specific resources. If, say, for example, you're interested in studying abroad in Germany and you want more information about a certain religious community in one of those cities or how you can continue to practice your religion. And we have some information on our website, and we'd also invite you to reach out to us directly, to kind of talk about how we can help you make sure that you feel comfortable and that you find a community within which you can practice your religion. Just as one example, we also have a lot of resources for LGBTQ+ students or for students who want more information about race and identity or race and ethnicity in their study abroad locations. So a good place to start is the website here on our diversity resources, but you can also get in touch with me and I'd be happy to make an introduction between you and our dedicated diversity staff as well to make sure that they're able to help you answer questions or address concerns that you may have. And of course, you're all here likely because you have some interest in majoring or minoring or studying political science and international relations abroad. So if you haven't thought about, why this is such a great major to go abroad with, it's definitely a great time to take advantage of a regional interest that you have. If you're specializing in Asian politics, of course, take advantage of going to that part of the world and being immersed in that culture to learn more about it. In all of our locations that I'll mention today, we also have really unique courses that do take advantage of, where they're taught. So you're getting a really specific look at different systems and different locations that may not all be offered on campus in the political science department. So you get to take advantage of some different opportunities. On all of the programs I'll mention today, courses are mainly taught in English, but in any location where English is not the host language, we'll have you take either an introductory course in the host language, or if you have experience with it, we'll have you take a course at the next level so you can continue to develop those language skills, which I know are really valuable for careers in politics and in international relations particularly. On a lot of our semester programs as well, students typically take 5 courses during the semester. And for these programs, if you're interested in replacing one of those courses with a part-time internship, that's something we can help you do. So typically the internship is composed of time spent at your actual internship placement, which IES Abroad would arrange for you, and time in a seminar course with the other students who are interning, maybe at different locations, and you all get to kind of share about your experiences and what you've seen or learned or what's confusing, and then you get credit for that internship. And lastly, we've done some research that really shows that in grad school applications or in job interviews, international experience is really valuable to employers. So we definitely encourage you to put your study abroad on your resume, write about it, think about, especially if you do an internship, think about what you've learned and how that can translate into your future career as well. So I'm going to present to you today 6 semester programs. I'm just going to give a brief overview of each program with a couple of course examples. I would invite you definitely to jot down like questions or notes that you have if you want to later set up a call with me to talk about any programs that may have piqued your interest or that you want to learn more about. Also, iesabroad.org is a great resource to see more course examples than the ones I'll share today. And then I'll mention 2 summer programs as well. So starting with our semester programs, the first 3 are going to be in Europe. And the first one is in Freiburg, Germany, which is called our European Union program. This program is probably our best known international relations and politics program because it's really heavily centered on traveling throughout Europe and building that travel into the curriculum and into the program cost. So you will be based in Freiburg, Germany, which is a quaint kind of medieval city. There's a university there, so there are a lot of young people. It's very well known as kind of a sustainable and green city. So it's a beautiful place to have as your home base. But like I mentioned, out of a semester, you travel about 22 days with the program. So you'll take your classes, during some of your travel days, and you'll be with your classmates and with your professors in different cities throughout Europe, doing site visits and doing comparative look at different political systems, as well as the development and growth of the EU. Those trips are all included in the program cost as well. And then because of the travel component, it's not possible to do an internship during the semester, but we know that students are sometimes looking for that experience. So it's possible to add an 8-week internship at the end of the spring term, which will be in May and June, and get your international internship experience that way. A couple examples of courses here: transition to market economies in Central and Eastern Europe, and EU-US relations. Sticking with Europe for now, in Barcelona, we have our political science and international relations program. And in Barcelona, you may be familiar with some of the discussions they're having of like regional identity, especially with Catalonia and their discussions of independence. So it's a really interesting place to kind of study religious identities and regional identities and how those play into politics. And here's a place where you could intern for credit. We have partnerships with NGOs throughout the city. Most of your courses will be taught in English, but if you have a Spanish background or have an interest in that, you're definitely able to take some courses in Spanish, even do your internship in Spanish if that's something that you're working on, as a professional language. And some examples of courses here, these two are taught in English. Campaigning in Europe, from propaganda to political marketing, and Europe in Crisis. So Europe in Crisis specifically looks at different acts of terrorism, economic recessions, a lot of different case studies to kind of understand what Europe has gone through and how they've kind of addressed some of these different crises over the past, I would say probably 50 years is what the course focuses on. Next, Paris Business and International Affairs program. So you may think of Paris as, a hub for fashion and art, but it's also really an international city with headquarters for places like UNESCO. Of course, students do enjoy, French food and going to all of the wonderful art museums, but it's a great place for political science exploration as well. If you have French experience, again, you can do an internship using your French, or you can take a course in French. We have like a kind of current events and conversation course that's taught in French, which will really get you like reading the local French newspaper and being really aware of kind of local and world issues from the French perspective. But if you have no French background, that's totally fine too. Most of our courses will be in English. And a few examples are here. Green growth sustainability includes a lot of our case studies. Some are based in Paris or in France, but some expand wider. Like there is a case study that students looked at that was from the United Arab Emirates in that course as well. So you get a little bit of everything. And then we have another course called New Security in the Globalized World. Okay, I mentioned earlier you may have an interest outside of European politics. So we do have a program in China, in Shanghai, our Economy, Business, and Society program. In Shanghai, again, a major international city and hub of economics and culture within Asia. A great way on this program to get kind of another cultural comparison is the 5 to 7 day trip that's included in the program cost, which visits another Asian country, city. Usually it has been Tokyo or Seoul, for example, in the past. And then if you have Chinese language background, a lot of you may know that Mandarin is really growing as a global language, so it's an asset to have some Chinese language. If you're new to the language, you'll get to take an intro course on this program as well. You can see the courses are very much from a Chinese and Asian perspective, so international politics in East Asia and Chinese economy and politics. Next, if you're interested in Northern Africa, we have a program in Rabat, Morocco. And this program is really interesting for kind of looking at languages, cultures, and religions that come together in the North Africa, Middle East region of the world. And on this program, we do offer courses in English, Arabic, and French. Again, if you're new to any of those languages, especially Arabic, we give you the chance to learn both standard Arabic and more colloquial modern Arabic, as it will be spoken around you. And we have field trips within the program for you to experience, like for example, the Sahara Desert as is pictured here, and kind of get out and explore around Morocco as well. As you can see, the courses here very much focused on the region as well. So Arab media and issues of politics and culture, or the US and North Africa. My last program to share with you today, that's a semester length program, is in Latin America. This is our multi-location program, which we call Emerging Economies. It takes place half in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and half in Santiago, Chile. This is a really cool program that gives you a chance to spend half of the semester in each location, and you're really gonna have a chance of comparing and contrasting the two cultures and two political systems. And as a bonus, you get a third country. Between the two programs, students do a week-long course-related trip in Peru. So you stay there for a week between the move that you're going to make to the second half of the semester. And again, most of our courses here are in English, but you can stay with a host family during your experience, and you will take a course, at least one course in Spanish language. For this program, students do take the first course listed here, the Emerging Economies course, throughout the semester. That's going to kind of be a thread that guides you through the two different locations and kind of manages this comparison and contrasting that you'll do. And then another example of course that I included here is an international business course that is called Business Strategies in Latin America. So again, those are the semester programs. I know that was really quick what I went through. I'd be happy to share more detail for any programs that you're interested in. And again, the possible courses, I just took 2 from each program. We offer a lot more courses that you can find on our website, or you can email me and I'll kind of walk you through where to find those or what your options are. And then I wanted to share quickly just a couple examples of summer programs. So our summer programs typically are 6 to 8 weeks long, and during a summer program, students usually take 2 courses. So we do have in the summer a version of our European Union program, which I mentioned happens during the semester as well. And that does include travel as well. So you're able to, on kind of a smaller scale, see some other countries within Europe on that program with your professors and classmates. We also have 2 programs in London that offer English language, political science, international business, and international relations courses. Our program in Nice, France, also looks at multiculturalism and immigration through a political science course over the summer, and that program also includes a trip to Morocco typically. So it's another way where you can kind of get a few locations for the price of one, basically. And then lastly, over the summer, we do offer full-time internships. They are internships for credit, so they're not paid internships, but we do work with you to make sure that you have a placement in your field where you're interested, and that you're supported through our internship seminar, which I mentioned. You can work with us to kind of tell us more about what type of work or what type of setting you'd be interested in. And we have summer internships pretty much all over the world in the locations I've mentioned, plus more. Most of them are in English, unless you have a specific interest in French, Spanish, or German. We can arrange those types of placements for you as well. So just a few more slides here, and then I'll have time for your questions. And I see Kimber sharing some really great resources as well. So I know you've just heard from me about all these programs, and while I do this every day, I know our programs very well. I understand you may want to hear, from a student who did one of our programs. So we have IES Abroad ambassadors, who are students who have participated in an IES Abroad program and then have come back and volunteered to work with students like you. You can find them through our website by the contact a past participant link, or I can send you that if you're interested. And they're here to answer questions from you about, what was their housing like, or what made you choose this program, what made you choose this location, those types of questions that you may have. You also can look on our website at our blogs and our materials from our correspondence. So they take pictures and share stories during their time abroad and have some really great kind of anecdotes to share. And we really don't censor our correspondence. So we encourage them to share all aspects of their study abroad, not just like kind of the most beautiful Instagrammable pictures. They share some of the challenges that they faced during a semester abroad, and kind of how they've worked through to really come out with a great experience. And we're on social media, newly on TikTok as well. So check us out. The other great thing about the IES Abroad Instagrams is that we have an Instagram for pretty much all of our locations. So if you're particularly interested in, say IES Abroad Santiago, they have their own Instagram page where they're posting pictures about what students are up to and what beautiful field trips they're taking and things like that. And then a couple other steps for you to think about. It's really never too early to be planning for your study abroad experience. So all of you are already taking a great step toward that by joining me today. And just a couple of recommendations I have for you would be to make sure that you are working with your academic advisor and also with your study abroad office. Whenever you do feel ready, you can start an application for an IES Abroad program online for no cost. We would help you, through that process if you had any questions. And it's just a matter of submitting some information online and then uploading some of your documents. So it's a pretty painless application process. And you're kind of working with both the study abroad office and with IES Abroad to make sure that you found the right program and that everyone's on board with your study abroad experience. So with that, I will leave it up to you guys. If you have questions that you want to put in the chat, we'll be happy to take those. And then the best way to reach me is study@iesabroad.org. We use a smart email system, so we'll see that you're a Louisville student and your email will come directly to me. Again, I'm happy to kind of set up another call with you individually if you want to talk more about your program options, anything that jumped out at you today. And now I'll open it up for questions in the chat as well. Thank you guys. Awesome. Okay, I'm